I am joined by Robert Griffin III, James White, Field Yates Meanakeims.
All right, so first play we're going to look at, 2nd and 2, one of the Patriots' first offensive plays.
What's going on, everyone? Mike Kadlick, Tayler Kyles here for CLNS Media, back with another episode of the Patriots Daily Podcast. Not a ton of news to kind of decipher through to you, Taylor, on this Friday. It's kind of a slow one, but I put together a couple stories we can kick around here for a few minutes. Then we'll also get into another mock draft. We have plenty of mock drafts under our belt at this point in the season, with just less than 7 days to go until the NFL draft. So we're going to do an all Big Ten mock draft this time. Headlined, we hope, by Abdul Carter. We'll see what happens. We'll see how the board falls. But Taylor, first and foremost, how we doing? Happy Friday. What's going on with you?
Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday, Nelson. What's up, buddy? Thanks for popping in.
Yeah.
I'm doing good, man. In terms of shows, Liz and I have just been tearing through the Taylor Sheridan universe. Got through obviously Yellowstone. I didn't watch the last season, though, because I'm not going to say why, actually, for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, but it's kind of disappointing. Friday, did you watch Friday Night Lights?
Here and there. I never watched it throughout, but I know it.
Do you know how there was a writer strike after one season and they ended, I think it's season 2, they ended very abruptly. And I was watching on Netflix and it went from 2 to 3. And I was like, what just happened? Because they went from mid-season or starting out to the next year. And I'm like, did they get rid of episodes? What happened?
Yeah.
Something similar happens in Yellowstone, kind of, where it's just some behind the scenes drama led to a really weird decision. They kind of messed up the show for me. But
didn't that happen with Lost too?
Or
they changed writers or something like that?
Lost, I feel like, was a whole conundrum. There was so much attached to that show. And then what was the one you put me on to?
The
Landman. Yeah. So then we were like, all right, I want more. We watched 1932.
That's the prequel, right? Isn't it a prequel to Yellowstone?
So it's 1886 is the first one. I didn't know about that. That was supposed to be a limited series. Then it was so popular, they went on and made 1923. And now they're going to come out with a 1944. Dude, it was so good. And apparently one of my roommates in LA is friends with the main guy from it, which is insane.
That's cool.
So hopefully our paths cross one day. But anybody, if you haven't seen the rest of them yet, dude, 1923, I promise you and Kate are going to be hooked.
Okay. Have you seen Good American Family on Hulu?
No, that sounds familiar though.
It's one season. Kate just started it. I was working nights this week, and so I was kind of just on my laptop typing away, doing my SI blogging, and she was watching it in the background. And it's I started to kind of get hooked and pay attention. And it's I don't even know how to describe it, but a family adopts a child, and she seems to have problems.
It's like The Orphan, right?
Yeah. And then she's she's going crazy with the mom, and the dad doesn't believe it. It's this whole thing. There's clearly I'm half paying attention while I'm working in the background, but it's really good. And I'm kind of looking forward to actually diving into it and paying attention.
Liz knows about the case, which is apparently super messed up.
It's real because it's based on a true story.
It's what The Orphan's based on.
Yeah,
The more accurate portrayal of what happened. So yeah,
right.
We're neck deep because of all the Taylor Sheridan stuff and some other shows, but that's another one we could definitely put on the pipeline because the main actress, I love her too, and the mom and the dad, I love both of them.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at show wise. As far as Patriots news goes, it's not really news. It's another. It's a Colin Cowherd type thing that I threw against the wall the other day. But Mike Tannenbaum on Get Up this morning, his bold prediction, they did a round table, him, Jason McCourty, Greeny, all those guys on the Get Up crew. Who else? Graziano. They did bold predictions for the draft next week, and Tannenbaum still sounds like he thinks Shedeur Sanders is going to go number 3 to the Giants and has Abdul Carter falling to number 4. I guess I'll ask you a two-part question here. At this point in time, do you think there's any chance that actually happens? And at this time, April 18th, 3 o'clock, whatever time it is, what do you actually think is going to happen at the top 4? Where do you think we end up? Who do you think we have spoken to at this point at Gillette Stadium a week from now?
Well, one, I actually need to clarify. So apparently the show came out after the movie, and the parents in the show thought the movie was their real life. Liz just texted me to clarify.
Gotcha.
So my bad.
Okay.
But back to football. It's so tough, man. Like, again, it's smokescreen season. The closer it gets, and then we hear reports, the less likely I am to believe a lot of it. Think about it. When it got closer to draft day, we were hearing more and more JJ McCarthy smoke. I remember because I tuned it out. I was like, no, that's ridiculous. I don't want to believe it. Like, Drake is the guy. And we didn't find out that Drake was basically a lock until like, what was it, an hour before the draft or something like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
So I don't really care about the reports and everything like that. Of course, like, it's fodder. This is a point in the year in the calendar where it just is so repetitive. We are kind of recycling, talking points. But I mean, obviously, Abdul Carter, phenomenal talent as a pass rusher. I don't love the consistency and the effort. The foot injury scares me, and I do hope that they are able to get a leader. Someone who really changes the culture, like a Will Campbell. Or actually, Duke Manyweather tweeted today he's training Armand Membu and Will Campbell, but he said that he thought Campbell was OT1, and he mentioned a lot of it was because of his work ethic and his competitiveness, and said that he's going to change an organization, which is pretty huge. And he said that Armand Membu is going to start day one at right tackle, which, again, we talked about it long enough. I'm resigned to the understanding that it would be a transition. The upside might not be worth it for the Patriots who need a day one left tackle. I would like them to get a Will Campbell type, a Jalen Walker type, even if I do think he would be a bit of a reach at 5 or 4. But they're like Abdul Carter, and no one's like ringing their phone off the hook being like, please, I will sell the farm. We need Abdul Carter. Then yeah, man, I think you got to pounce.
Yeah. And I think at this point, and maybe it's just because I've sort of accepted the fact that it's just going to be Will Campbell. I'm actually like pretty excited about it. Now, I was excited about and I was excited about the idea of Will Campbell like late last season when we didn't know what pick they were going to have, and you knew you had Drake May. And it didn't really seem like how the board was falling that they were going to get the number 1 pick, and just be able to take Travis Hunter. And so it was kind of like, okay, 4, 5, 6 range. Will Campbell is the best tackle in college football. Let's do it. And then since then, it's been all the not off the field issues, but the off the field measurements that have sort of taken the Will Campbell we knew and loved at that time and just dragged him down into the water. And I kind of fell for that because I've always been like get the arm length out of my face, like stop with the measurements. And then as it kind of came, I was like,
insignificant. It's not
exactly. That's what kind of took me. It was like, well, yeah, it sounds stupid, but it also makes sense because you have to have these long arms. You need to have a big base to be able to get outside and, block these edge defenders, etc. But then since then, I've kind of come back to it. And maybe it is only because, hey, it kind of seems like they're just going to take him. But he does have that leadership quality. He, granted, he did measure in again and got to 33 inches. And whether it was a combine mistake, whether that was an LSU, a little help from his LSU friends saying, no, he's at 33
it's
today.
The scouts time at the pro days.
Oh, that's also
they do
true.
All that stuff, yeah. So because obviously the first thing everyone would think of is like you're cheesing the numbers.
Hey, Will's at 30. He's got 35-inch arms. Look at that. But ever since then, it's kind of like, okay, he's a great guy. He's a great leader. He's going to come in and just command the room what seems like day one. I was listening to Albert Breer a little bit this morning on 98.5 The Sports Hub talking about just how Mike Vrabel has done it. They've done a ton of work on him. Mike Vrabel is a big fan of him, and that he basically said, like, Mike Vrabel is going to get this guy to live in his house.
Yeah. Is that the quote from last week or was it recent? Because I know he said there was a clip I saw where the end of it was him saying, like, Vrabel wants him to move into his house.
And it was last week, and he said it again today. Yeah.
Okay. He said it again. That's really exciting, man.
And so it's just like, okay. And again, we did it on this show when the arm measurement came out. And I think it was kind of you who convinced me. You were like, I don't know about Will Campbell anymore. And I was like, come on, Taylor. And then I come off the show and I'm like, maybe you're right. And then
it's the wingspan too. Remember, it's the wingspan too. Because it's not just being long, it's being big enough for you to be tough to get around.
Right. And so, no. And so then I was, I don't know about it. And now here we are. Pick number 4. It doesn't sound like it. And I will say too, on top of all of that Will Campbell stuff, it started to feel like there was a real chance Shedeur was going to go in the top 3, which meant Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter was going to fall. So at that point, it was like, well, why are we going to get stuck on Will Campbell and his short arms when you could end up on one of these generational players? Now it doesn't seem likely. All of that combined feels like Will Campbell's the guy. And if he can't play tackle, he can still play guard at some point at this level. That's what we think. That's what it feels like. And so even if it's a reach at the 4th pick and he turns into a great guard for the next 10 years, I'm okay with that.
I agree. And I think the biggest thing is like he is going to start right away. And I think Memu brings like the nastiness, but watching Will Campbell's tape, and I cannot emphasize enough. I think everybody who's in this show right now knows this, but like I was never off Will Campbell. I just liked other people better. I was more because at first I was like, hell yeah, Will Campbell makes the most sense. And it was just like seeing the bad losses. Like they do stick in your head where you see him just completely out of position. And that's going to happen at the next level, especially early on. But the fact that he's working with Duke Manyweather, I don't know the last time the Patriots have had a lineman who was working with Duke. And Duke's had a great track record. I know he adjusts his program to what they're being taught. So it's not like a lot of teams, like when it comes to passing coaches, sometimes it can get a little blurry, like where Belichick and what's Brady's name? Alex Guerrero. Not the exact same thing, but sometimes we're like the outsiders and the people in the building when they're not on the same page, it can create tension where the player's learning 2 different styles and then it's a problem. Manyweather's very good. He says like, when we know where this guy's drafted, we're gonna so he's gonna call Doug and be like, yo, what do you want him to do? I will try to make sure I prepare him to the best of his ability. That's really exciting. And Duke's going to know, hey, like I mentioned, the one-hand punch, right? 2 hands, when you lose, it's very hard to recover, you know? But if you have the one, okay, you miss on that strike, but you have the other one to recover and give you a little bit of a fail-safe. I think if you can do that, maybe even use what's called the hug technique, where rather than punching with 1 hand, punching with 2, you cast a wide net. All right. You see this with Josh Simmons as well, because he's got a really good anchor. You're leaving your chest wide open. So guys are going to see that and be like, oh, I'm going to go through you. Campbell's got a very good anchor, so I don't really worry about that with him as much. And I would be okay with him saying, hey, I'm not going to let you get around me because I'm just going to make myself wide and just try to engulf you and maximize my size. And then just be like, you know, if you want to hit me with power, I'll be able to adjust. So again, these are things where he can improve his game. It's still going to be tough, as I keep saying, against the Myles Garretts and the Aiden Hutchinsons, but there's not a lot of people on the planet who can block those guys. And again, another point we've made ad nauseum, this is not a normal draft. You're not getting stars at the top once Carter and Travis Hunter are off the board, but you're going to be getting starting caliber players. And Will Campbell's going to be not just a starter, but a kind of Logan Mankins type or even Matt Light type where they kind of establish the tone with their physicality. Oh, one more thing I'll actually throw in because this is the members only. I was talking to Moose, one of the NBC camera guys.
Oh yeah.
They have such amazing insight. Like it's guys who have field level perspective. They've covered the team forever. Like they've seen Brady and all these iterations. Like I love the kind of knowledge they'll drop. And I know Moose is telling me about the Detroit game on Thanksgiving where they were in the Reds. Tom Brady had the long hair and everything. And he was talking about how Sue was on the team. And he was like, that was the dirtiest I've ever seen because they were literally just punching each other. Like, I got to see if I could find the tape. But he said, like, literally they were just going for gut punches and shit because they knew Sue was going to be dirty. And they said on the sideline, like, Matt Light, Logan Mankins, who was, I think Dan Copen was still around at that time. Like, they were just laughing. And they were like, that's so funny. It's a fight. Let's do it. And it's like, that's what I want. Like, I want the offensive line where it's like, you don't care who they're going up against. You know it's going to be competitive at the very least. So I just thought that was a fun story because Will Campbell's the kind of dude, like, that clip I uploaded on Twitter a couple of months ago where he blocks the one guy, throws him to the ground, then sees a safety at the second level who just barely avoids getting hit and then trucks him and gets a flag.
Yeah, going to find work.
But a tone setter, and I respect that kind of play.
Going from an offensive line that looks like they don't know what they're doing last year to what we can hopefully bring in is a bunch of guys who, like you said, a Will Campbell who's going to take his guy down and then go find work at the second level and just look for a guy to kind of, bulldoze over is let's have some fun. So again, we can only
can you imagine? Oh,
we can only hope it works out. But it's something to now, again, six days away. Feels like at this point in time, Will Campbell is probably going to be a Patriot. I'd put it at least over a 50% chance that that's what's going to happen. that's again, not a ton of insight. That's just kind of reading the tea leaves and kind of figuring it out. But again, let's get excited. It feels like, you could have your left tackle, if not a really solid interior offensive lineman for the future moving forward. And that's something to be excited about. All right, moving on from that, the Patriots did work out Kentucky kicker Alex Rayner. That was according to friend of the show, Justin Mello. And Mello also noted that they also worked out Florida State's Ryan Fitzgerald, who we drafted in our mock draft yesterday. So they're going after kickers. I wonder if they use a late round pick on one. I wonder if it's UDFA work. I wonder if this is just homework and kind of see where it goes.
It's a private workout, so I think Springer and Tom Quinn are putting him through it. Like, remember when they were saying in the presser where he's like, yeah, if you haven't played in bad weather, then like you're going to get experience, and we're going to make sure. It's like Kentucky is exactly a place where there's no bad weather, but it's not Foxboro, so they're probably going to I don't know if you can simulate wind or anything like that. I don't know what you can do, but at the very least, you get those guys. I know one strategy is you get them tired. And then you can really see how their mechanics look and what they look like when they're just gassed. And you can see, all right, where are the real deficiencies and where are they completely falling off. And real quick, I'll read Alex Rayner. Justin Mello, check out the full article. Just the intro gives you a little insight into how successful he's been. Kentucky kicker Alex Rayner is arguably the most accurate place kicker in the 2025 NFL draft. Rayner went 25 of 27 in 2 illustrious seasons with the Wildcats program. He broke various program and SEC records, establishing himself as one of college football's few elite kickers. I feel like such an idiot every time it's kickers because I'll just be like, oh, who's this? And obviously, like that, he's an elite prospect. That's the first time I've heard his name. But they're doing their homework and they're trying to get a good guy at the position. And
the other thing that, again, it's early yet and it's only April, so we don't know what's going to happen. But it feels like with the rookie workouts that maybe a guy like Matt Gay, who we originally thought, with his connection to Springer being a free agent, getting cut by Indy last week, 2 weeks ago, that if that was the case, again, I don't know if it would have happened by now because there's so much time and you're kind of, that would, not that kickers are unimportant, but those are kind of second level problems compared to what else is going on in the league right now. So you wonder, but maybe they're going to go after a rookie or a younger player to compete with Parker Romo as opposed to a guy in Matt Gay. But that is the Patriots news of the day as a kicker workout with Kentucky's Alex Rayner. And then one more rumor that I saw today from Daniel Jeremiah before we take on these questions and also do our Big Ten mock draft is tight end Mason Taylor, who in one of our mock drafts earlier this offseason, I don't remember if we drafted him, but we kind of went through it and we weren't all that impressed. We were also doing prospect rankings at one point. Remember we did like our day 1, day 2, day 3 guys?
I remember nothing.
3 days in a row. And we talked about Mason Taylor as like a day 3 guy. Well, Daniel Jeremiah said he could see Mason Taylor going at the back end of the first round. Is that crazy? And again, it's DJ. He's plugged in. Stocks rise, stocks fall. But what are your thoughts on Mason Taylor being the 3rd tight end off the board, and also not just being the 3rd tight end off the board, but a first-round pick? Sitting here next week.
All right, let me pull up the tight end rankings real quick on Mock Draft Database. Why can't I type? Oh my God. I just typed literally just random letters. Mock Draft Database. It's because it's Friday. And I'm seeing Sinners later. I'm so freaking excited.
Nice.
All right. Tight end. Tyler Warren, Colson Love. I mean, he's a 3rd ranked tight end. It's Elijah Arroyo behind him.
Where's
Harold
my guy?
Terrence Ferguson. Yeah. So with Mason Taylor, I don't see a 1st round pick.
Yeah.
But if you love him and you are a team who can afford to pick a tight end at that range, and it's not even like it's crazy to take a tight end in the end of the first, because again, if you love him, it doesn't really matter that he's going to be one of the higher paid tight ends because there's only like a handful of like truly special tight ends in the league. He's got the NFL bloodlines. Like obviously his dad's a Hall of Famer. He grew up around football. You can see that in the way that he plays. He is a very savvy player. He's got reliable hands. He's a smooth athlete. Not crazy explosive, but there is more upside because LSU used him more as an underneath target, and I think he's got the explosiveness to give you something down the field, but I wouldn't say he's like Arroyo necessarily, where he's like a truly like he's not such a fluid separator. Like he's not as fluid as Arroyo, and he's not as physical as maybe like a Tyler Warren, I would say. He just wins with smoothness. Nothing wrong with that. Just not, I don't know, man. For me, it's hard to project with guys like that. And I don't know. I just would like to see more from him in college. Again, that can change in the league, but like obviously the Patriots should not they should not touch that.
Right.
But yeah, if somebody else wants to, take the gamble, go ahead. He seems like a great kid, great prospect, but should not be on the Patriots radar anywhere near that early.
Just want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Game Time. Head over to Game Time and use code CLNS. You get $20 off your first purchase. You can see the Red Sox. They're opening up next week. Patriots back here in Gillette Stadium. Could be good this year. Stephon Diggs just signed. So fun times down here in Foxboro. And if you want to get to a game again, head over to our friends at Game Time. Use that code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
Yeah, I'm with you. But we'll use that tight end transition to answer some of our AMA questions. We have 4 loaded up. And if you have any more, if you're hanging out here on this live AMA Friday with our members only, throw in more questions in the chat and we'll get to all of them as we sit here before we get into our Big Ten only mock draft. And on the tight end position, Nelson asked, do you think McDaniels will be able to utilize Jaheim Bell this year in a better role? What are your thoughts on what he brings as the third tight end? Note that behind Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper with McDaniel's system.
Is he the third? They signed Giovanni Ricci.
You would put him over Jaheim Bell?
He's the same role.
Fair. Okay.
Yes,
the H-back, fullback type guy. Okay.
Because Jaheim Bell is a 7th-round pick who did nothing as a rookie. And I like Jaheim Bell, the player. I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I really commend him putting in the extra work on special teams so that he could earn opportunities to play offense. And I really liked his upside. Like, I thought he could have served in like a bit of a Johnny role, but with maybe better ball skills. But like, I'm telling you, man, last year he just didn't really look like an NFL player. And he's 7th-round pick. I know he was injured while he was at Florida State. Thank you. You started South Carolina. But yeah, I as someone who was very excited about him and came on the show and was excited about him, I'll also own my takes. And you noticed I didn't talk about Jaheim Bell a whole lot last year.
Right.
I really wanted to, man. Like, I was dying every game. Like, give me something, Jaheim. And every once in a while he did. Like, he made some plays on special teams. He got better as a blocker, I think, down the road. I just don't think as a receiver I saw the level of comfort that I wanted to. That could change, if he's more comfortable in the offense, then maybe things translate a little bit better and he can operate a little more to his top capabilities. And I also think that McDaniels did a decent job with Jonnu. I think Jonnu just didn't deserve more targets. We always talk about this. It's like, well, he didn't know how to use Jonnu. Yes, he did. He gave him the slide.
He set him up. Yeah.
He gave him all these opportunities. Think of how many times Jonnu bobbled the ball. I always think of I think it was the Saints game.
The Saints game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he wide ass open.
It's just like, it's so bad, man. And it's that kind of thing is why he felt. And also Hunter Henry became their every down tight end. And it's like, well, why are you going to play Jonnu when you have, obviously Aguilar was like their sacrificial X from our friend Matt Harmon. Yeah. But there's also, you had Jacoby Myers, you had Kendrick Bourne, who were actually performing well. So you didn't need that guy. So I think Josh McDaniels knows how to use guys with this skill set. He didn't have Hernandez for very long. Like, that was just for the first few weeks of 2012 before he got hurt. And obviously everything happened with that.
Well, so it's funny. We have a comment about Jaheim. It says, I hope he can be what Hernandez was. I hope he's not what Hernandez was.
Off the field, yes.
Yeah.
Another Florida guy too.
Yeah, right, exactly. But no, all kidding aside.
But I mean, no, like, Jaheim Bell is not the athlete. Hernandez, there has not been another Hernandez, and there's a reason.
Right.
Like, that dude, I don't know if we're ever going to see another guy like him. Just like the reason that Belichick put up with bullshit, up with like everything that we know he tolerated, because like, you want to talk about a joker. I think he maybe was the greatest joker that this game has ever seen in the limited 100%. Sample size.
Yeah.
But
there was also nothing. You said the limited sample size on Hernandez. It's not like we saw anything that made us think that wouldn't have just continued for the rest of his career.
Right. It was like 11 probably would have if he stayed healthy.
Yeah. Exactly.
In 2010, he was actually the one who was getting more reps. It was Algie Crumpler. I think it was Hernandez, and then Gronk was like mixing in. Wasn't it?
Right. Yeah, that sounds right.
So I just started watching football then. I'm kind of going off what I've learned since then. But yeah, I don't think Jaheim Bell's the same kind of athlete, so I wouldn't necessarily compare him to that. But I do think that maximizing him would be this kind of role. But Jaheim's got to earn it this summer, and that's going to be, I think, the biggest factor. McDaniels is fine. But if, Jaheim's got to go out there, catch passes, prove he can be consistent, do the right thing, plan and play out.
Couple tackle questions here. I'll start with Alex Rodriguez Jimenez, not quite the baseball player, former Yankee, but we'll add a Jimenez on the end here. And he asks if they take Membu. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, Roddy. Fuck, that's bad. My bad. That's bad. I tried.
Happy Friday. If they take Membu over Campbell, could you see a double dip and they aim for a true left tackle with the second pick to solidify both left and right tackle? So this can kind of actually loop in with another question from Nelson.
I would rather trade for Colton Miller, to be honest, if you're taking Membu.
So would I. But Nelson asked on top of this, would you be upset if they take Campbell at 4 and then Donovan Jackson or somebody else at 38? That would solidify the left side. There's a lot of permutations here, but
I've done that. And I think I did that when I did the crossover mock with Alex and Brian. I think we did Campbell and then Donovan Jackson.
Start with this. If they take Membo over Campbell, would you be like them to, go call it Josh Connerly or Ursery or Josh Simmons and kind of do the double dip in that fashion?
I just don't think it would make sense. Because Membu's not going to play as a rookie because you have Moses. Mm-hmm. And obviously Membu's probably better, but you just sign the guy. You're not gonna, you're gonna give him. He's penciled in as your starter, barring something crazy. Mm-hmm. And then, all right, if you're gonna sign Membu, but you aren't confident that he's gonna be able to play, then you probably shouldn't invest in him. Period.
Right, especially at the 4th overall pick.
Yeah, and if anything, maybe Colton Miller, but even then, bro, if you're taking a guy with the 4th pick, he's starting for you. He should be starting for you.
Right.
You should not have concerns over there's going to be hiccups for sure. Campbell's going to have hiccups, but if he's not going to be functional enough to play, then I don't really think it's conversation.
Right. And on the tackle note, the one I just brought up, but how would you feel about Campbell at 4 and then a Donovan Jackson at 38?
Also, Nelson, is that your picture? Because if so, my guy, you are smooth as hell. That is a cold picture.
Nelson, is that you in the picture?
I got to find out. I was thinking that earlier.
Yeah.
I would be really happy with Campbell and Donovan Jackson. I don't love the idea of 2 guardish types necessarily, but I do like the idea of former tackles at guard. Although it's very different inside, things happen a lot quicker. Your length isn't as much of an advantage. I do think with all these freaky athletes inside, it's better to have a tackle skill set where you have the athleticism and the experience against more athletic rushers, so it's not quite as intimidating. I'd be totally down for that.
And finally, we'll go here. Why
it is Nelson?
It is him.
Yes, damn, smooth criminal, Nelly.
Smooth criminal. I like it. That's so funny. Nelson, thanks for being a member. As always, we appreciate the love. And one last question before we do our mock. Unless anybody else has any more, if you're here, throw them in the chat. We'll answer them after the mock as well. That's why we're here, to serve you on this Friday afternoon. But what have most people seen to be more of a fan of Jaden Higgins than Trey Harris? What do you see in Higgins that you don't see in Harris? Now, I know you're a fan of Trey Harris too, but we yesterday's mock draft, we debated Higgins over Harris when we were at that pick 38-69 range. So what are your thoughts on these two and kind of how they compare?
For Higgins, it's production, it's consistency. He catches pretty much everything. He also, if you watch his tape, you see how much production was left on the field because his quarterback was bad. Also, the dude, and this is one thing that it's almost like a backhanded compliment. It's he drew a ton of flags in college, and that's cool. But guys panicked. He's so big. They were kind of afraid of being able to box him out. But in the pros, guys aren't going to panic that often. And it might happen. Brandon Cooks has made a career of drawing flags and things like that. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's something that's going to translate. So I think the reason that people have him higher is he's just proven it. He's shown that he is an NFL caliber player, but he doesn't give you juice. And that's why I like Trey Harris better. I don't think Jaden Higgins is an X. I think he is a Z who can play X. I think Harris is similar, or I think he's like a Z big slot who can play X. And if he, grows and develops, gets better against press, is maybe better about attacking passes, then I could see him being a bit more of a reliable guy, but not against quality competition. Really against, average players, I think he could do well. Mm-hmm. Harris, I think, is someone who has the size and enough verticality to live as the X receiver, as your ISO outside guy. And I think you can move him around and use that to his advantage because I think he's a better route runner than you think for his size. So that's why I think Higgins, just the fact that he has done it at a high level in college and against some pretty tough opponents, is why he's considered to be one of the premier X options. But I just don't see the juice or the dominance at the catch point did I see flashes of from Harris? Like, I didn't even really see the flashes from Higgins, and that was a bit discouraging.
All right. Want to do our mock draft?
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. Again, ask any questions. Yeah, I know. Ask questions if you're in the chat, and we will finish them up after we do a mock draft. But what we're going to do here is, like last week with our all SEC mock draft, we're now going to take players only from the Big Ten. So, Taylor, I know that you're not as privy as some other people to what schools are in what conference.
I think I got it. I think
you can do. I think you can do SEC and Big Ten.
I can do Pac-12. It's just like all the West Coast teams, basically.
Yeah, but there's no Pac-12 anymore because they're all in the Big Ten.
God damn it! I heard
Oregon's in the Big Ten.
Oh my god.
Washington is now in the Big Ten. So yeah, this is what I mean. I wasn't trying to knock you down.
I was just proud of myself. I thought I finally learned the damn thing. It's so annoying. Oh my god.
College football is silly at this moment in time, but at any rate.
Just kidding.
We'll do a 7-round Patriots mock draft before we get into the weekend. And here we go.
I still can't believe I set myself up that bad. That was terrible. All right, so this one's easy.
That is easy.
That's easy.
Mason Graham. Abdul Carter.
I feel like if we trade out of this pick, it's going to
be... So it's funny. On yesterday's mock, it came through as... Ward, Hunter, Carter, like we expect. Mm-hmm. This mock comes through as Cam, Hunter, Shadur, like we talked about at the top of the show with Mike Tannenbaum's little theory that he could actually go third. So Patriots get Abdul Carter here. You hope it happens. Okay, you know what? I'll ask you this quickly before we finish the mock. What would you rather happen for the Patriots? Would you rather Abdul Carter fall, or would you rather them just be able to take Will Campbell because they need a tackle?
I want Will Campbell, but I also acknowledge that I'm not correct.
Okay. That's
like, I don't think it's the most logical
That's
answer.
A fair, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I would prefer Will
that.
Campbell, and I completely understand why everybody probably disagrees.
Okay, that's fair. As I do, because
I don't even think that'd be that controversial, to be honest. I feel like most people be like, get the tackle. Get the tackle. You got defense all offseason.
I guess.
But also, it's still Abdul Carter.
But it's also Abdul Carter. Yeah.
Should we just get all Penn State?
So Connerly is gone. Simmons is gone.
So what tackles are left? Damn, maybe we should have taken a tackle no matter what.
Ursery?
Donovan Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Would you rather Donovan Jackson or Ursery?
Is Minnesota in the Big Ten? They
are.
God, so many. This is tough.
Ursery's more of a straight up tack. They're gonna give us an F on the pick though, because
screw them. No offense, PFF.
All right,
I like a lot of
Ursery.
Yeah, Ursery. Yeah,
I agree.
I've been watching Donovan Jackson lately. I do like him, but Ursery's a better tackle. And both guys could end up playing something else down the road, so whatever.
Yeah. All right, so we don't have a wide receiver yet, so we'll look at wide receiver.
Femi Oladejo is definitely one that I would be looking at right now. And then Kyle Williams, our boy. The hell is Utah State in? Is that the...
Wait, is Washington State in the Big Ten now?
No.
I don't think they are.
Washington State or Utah
Washington State.
They are.
Washington.
They are.
They moved over too. Jesus.
Wait, did they?
No, they
didn't.
didn't.
Washington. Oh my God.
Washington State is still in the 4-team Pac-12.
Oh my God, this sucks. I'm not commenting about this anymore. I'm done. You drive that boat. Just tell me who I can pick.
I'll just tell you who can and can't be drafted. Terrence Ferguson can be drafted.
Olu Oladejo. Or Femi Oladejo. Edge.
Yeah, I know, but where's what conference?
I forgot we had Abdul Carter.
Yeah, we do.
This is the most Friday show ever.
This is a Friday show, and that's okay.
All right, yeah. Let's. I could do Terrence Ferguson. Get him a weapon, some explosiveness. Who else is even here?
Josiah Stewart. We just got an edge break.
Yeah.
This is tough. The Big Ten makes it tough now.
It does. Yeah.
Terrence. Should we try and trade back?
Yeah, let's start your back.
118. That's steep. Oh, you can't see the screen. So, okay, Atlanta.
Let's try and trade and make fewer picks. So if it's if it's in the hundreds, let's try to get up to that spot.
So, walk me through what you just said.
Can we give our 2 picks in the 100? Oh wait, that's 106. Okay, never mind. All right, let's just pick. Honestly, no trades. I don't want to
pick 73.
Terrence Ferguson. Terrence Ferguson. We're overthinking it. Terrence Ferguson.
All right, fine. Hold on. Where the hell is he? You should be able to filter by conference.
You should.
PFF.
It's Purdue.
Purdue. Double dip.
Purdue. I would do Marcus and Bo first.
All right. We still need a wide receiver.
Terrence Ferguson will be there. Terrence Ferguson is our wide receiver. Oh, Torrey is Colorado State. No, it's not. Probably not. No. It's not. What receivers are even in the
Tez Johnson?
I'd rather Terrence Ferguson.
We're gonna get flamed for not having a tight end or a wide receiver.
Well, what do you receivers?
He's basically a wide receiver, right? Isn't he like a
we can get Pat Bryant in the 4th.
That's early. Okay, you're right. Pat Bryant, Nelson.
We can get Maryland, Michigan. Yikes. God, there are not a lot of receivers in the Big Ten, dude.
No.
Nebraska. Does Nebraska have some? No,
I don't think so.
Yikes.
So do we want to take a safety, Kevin Winston from Penn State?
Let's look at the receivers. Just give ourselves an idea of what is even an option. Wisconsin, Washington, USC.
Tez Johnson is the highest right now.
Pat Bryant's probably
Maryland. Pat Bryant.
Actually, Ty Felton's interesting. I would go Ty Felton with maybe a mid-round or a later pick. He's explosive at least.
Okay, so
he's a skinny.
Should we wait? Is Terrence Ferguson gone now?
Who's Isaiah Nayer?
Oh, Terrence Ferguson's still here. Let's take Terrence Ferguson. Okay.
Isaiah Nayer. I'm not familiar with him. I'm looking up his profile right now.
Okay.
Is he in the system also? 6'4", 218. Damn. Ran a 4.4 flat. Woo. Height, weight, speed prospect who finished 5 years of college with just 2 seasons of double catches. Nayer is a long strider with the ability to separate in his stems and turns. His nearly 7-foot wingspan is on display with his catch radius, but he lacks the toughness and hand strength to win when contested. His blend of size, speed, and separation potential is valuable, but his skill set needs to be developed, which could make him a practice squad candidate. So he could be like maybe our last pick. But this one I would check with.
He's not in the PFF.
Not in the system.
Mock.
Okay.
No.
So I would take Pat Bryant if we can here, or Ty Felton. Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Which one?
Ty Felton.
Okay.
Yeah, he's explosive.
Okay.
I'd love me some Pat Bryant, but switch.
All right, Abdul Carter, Ariante Ursary, Marcus and Bo, Terrence Ferguson, Ty Felton is our class so far.
I think we got to get Luke Lachey, tight end. Oh, CJ West. Where's CJ West? Oh, he's probably gone.
He is gone.
Damn. Ty Robinson is probably not respecting the board if we take him. Rutgers is in there. I don't know who that is actually. I don't know that man. That's actually. Did they have him in for Robert Longerbeam?
I don't.
What a name.
Yeah.
Sounds like a certain type of actor. Corner, who is 5'11", 175. Oh, he's light. Slot guy, slender cornerback who is wired right but lacks the size typically required. Longerbeam played outside at Rutgers with the side. That's so ironic. He's small and his name is Longerbeam. All right, let's keep looking.
This is getting dicey. Cal? Craig Woodson?
I could do Cornelius. Right tackle of the future kind of guy.
Though we already did take 2 tackles. We want a third.
Who's the other tackle?
Mbo.
Oh, no, he's like a center guard. He can play anything.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know if I would play him. I would maybe want him inside.
Okay.
But we can look at some other options too. Does anybody pop out?
Nobody pops out right now. Kobe King, linebacker.
He'll probably be around later.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's do.
Do you want a running back?
Oh yeah. He's a 7th rounder, I think, or 6th or 7th.
Okay.
This is so hard.
Let's take best player on
Seth McLaughlin, an actual center. Then Mbo can play right tackle or guard.
Yeah, but we just took him yesterday.
We also took somebody else yesterday, didn't we?
Oh
no, we almost did.
No.
Screw it. We're allowed to have one. It's not easy, bro.
All right, fine.
And then we can do. We'll do Lachey. Jordan Hancock. Let me look up Jordan Hancock.
We need another defender. We've only taken one so far.
All right. So what do we need?
Corner.
6 foot, 195. Position versatile deep back with good size but average coverage talent. Hancock is strong enough to play near the line or on the back end, and his heaviest usage has come from the nickel spot. He's an above-average tackler in run support and in space, but has average thump. He gets beat off the dribble in press man and struggles to make up ground quickly against shifty route runners. He does his job from zone by keeping catches in front of him and tackling quickly, but lacks playmaking instincts. Hancock's size and versatility helps, but he might not excel in coverage phase to become a long-term starter. Special teamer, maybe he's a center fielder.
So should we take him or should we take this longer beam fella?
Let's keep looking. Longer beam small. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tonka Hemingway they had in today. Another phenomenal name.
It is a phenomenal name.
Cody Lindenberg. What's his deal? Cody
Lindenberg. Linebacker out of Minnesota.
Let's see. All of these scouting reports are from the NFL.com and Lancer Line, by the way. All right, 6'2", 236, about good size. Oh, he's priority free agent. Assignment-oriented linebacker and patient tackle collector from the second level. Lindenberg is long-legged with average play strength, but posted explosive athletic testing numbers last spring. He has trouble taking on blocks and coming out on top, so he might need to become more active at flowing downhill and tilting the odds in his favor. He recognizes blocking schemes and sees clearly into the backfield, but allows separation when plays flow wide. He can handle basic zone drops, but will be I don't like him.
I don't either.
I was hoping something would come that I liked, but
all right. Craig
Hancock.
Woodson. Hancock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll look up Craig Woodson.
This is our last one. Last scouting report. We got to make a decision. We're on the clock.
Let's see. All right, 5th rounder. 6 foot, 200, ran a 4.45. Woodson's an athletic down safety with easy hips and good change of direction quickness. He's a quick thinker and reactor to route combinations and quarterback actions. His makeup speed is average, and he has a tougher time blanketing big targets. He's ready and willing in run support, but lacks the stopping power and take on of a physical box safety. Woodson can play on special teams to contribute for a job as a dime safety. He sounds like Marte Mapu Insurance. Let's do it.
So take him?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. 2 more picks remaining.
There's Lachey. Oh, Mr. Lachey. Oh, another tight end. Screw it. We can do another tight end. I forgot to eat again. I keep forgetting to eat for these shows. I get so dizzy in the last 5 minutes.
We have 2 picks left, and then we're out of here because it's Friday, and we're already at the 43-minute mark. And no question.
Oh, we need a kicker too. Sorry,
we do need a kicker too. Nope, you're good. Let's look at solely special teams first. Ben Sauls is our pick because that's Big Ten.
Let's just do it.
Take him now.
Oh, is Lachey around? Tight ends? Okay, yeah. No, he's not even there. Wait, it's fine.
Okay. Kicker. We're taking a kicker with our second to last pick this time.
And then literally the top Big Ten player on the board.
Wait.
After this pick.
Wait, I don't think Pitt's in the Big Ten.
Oh my God.
They're in the ACC. Damn it.
So do they have
there's no Big Ten. There's no Big Ten kicker in the thing. So we can't do it.
Okay.
Oh man, that means we need to think. We haven't taken a corner. Nico Reed's a corner out of Oregon.
All right, we got to break the rule. Nico Reed scouting report.
Nico Reed is a 5'10", 180-pound corner. Reed is a bit undersized as a slot corner, which makes his competitiveness outside that much more impressive. He will play full-time as a slot as a pro, but bigger receivers will always have jump ball opportunities over him. He's better from press man coverage where he sounds like Marcus Jones. There's no hesitation in his run support. Yeah, he's Marcus Jones without the
Nico Reed.
Yep.
You are a Patriot. All right, last pick before we get out of here and into
best
our weekend.
Player available, baby.
Well, Ty Robinson, but he's not going to be there.
Oh my God. Okay, let's keep going then. Best player after these two.
Cincinnati.
Another safety. Jeez. Oh, was Wisconsin in the Big Ten?
Wisconsin is in the Big Ten. USC's in the Big Ten.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jaquavius Marks.
Oh my God. Yeah, I would have picked him earlier if I'd realized.
All right. There's our class.
Honestly, this is not bad.
Not terrible. Let's look at the grade. Okay. Not bad.
I'm sorry, MA football guy. I'm not familiar with Zoff Frazier yet, but if they pick him, I will be all over that film. You can bet your bottom dollar.
Also, UTSA is not Big Ten. For those just joining us, we are doing a fully Big Ten mock draft, and here's our class. Not too bad.
It's really not.
Not too bad. It's really not.
It could be better, but I mean, if you had to only pick Big Ten players, I don't think you're making out much better than this.
If I wonder what the grade would be if we got rid of the Ty Felton F and we took Pat Bryant. I wonder what that would have done. But
you've already hyped him up so much. I just want to pick somebody else.
I was gonna say you've taken Bryant plenty of time. So
yeah.
At any rate,
save it.
That's our mock draft. I'll save it. I'll tweet it. I'll tweet it on time this time. I forgot yesterday because I left the show and just turned off all things Patriots Daily. But at any rate, 46 minutes on a Friday. That's not bad. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate the love always. We appreciate you guys joining these AMAs on Fridays and asking us questions and being supporters of the channel. It means a lot. It helps us out. Taylor is drinking a ton of water right now. I thought he was frozen, and then I saw his arm shake. That is a lot of liquid. Not bad.
Happy Friday.
That I was going to say that'll suppress the hunger a little bit. Maybe those will be beers in a little while because it is Friday. But we appreciate the love. Make sure you guys are already subscribed. You guys have already done the subscription service, so we appreciate that as well. But tell your friends because this is what you get on Fridays. And I think that's going to do it. We'll be back next week. It's draft week, so we're going to have Patriots Daily to start the week, and then we will have our annual Thursday, Friday, Saturday live shows all weekend. It's going to be fun. It's going to be tiresome, but it's going to be super fun, and we can't wait for you guys to join us.
We've learned since I was in LA.
We have definitely learned. I remember a couple years ago, I got off on Saturday night and I like almost collapsed. And then last year it was like, okay, I've done this before. You can feel it, it's like you get accustomed to it. So it's exciting.
My first year, I was late, so I didn't really know a lot of the prospects. And that was when I was still doing like too much. Like I wanted to do everything.
Yeah,
dude, I think I got 2 hours of sleep going into Sunday. Do you remember we were doing the stream and I couldn't even pretend to like laugh at jokes?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't smile. I'm actually going to go back and watch because I was dying inside. When that was over, I think I slept the rest of the day.
Remember there was a GIF/video of me, you, and John like bobbing our heads, like because that was hilarious. We're gonna find that again. But that's coming up this weekend. 3rd year running. Myself, John Zannis, Tayler Kyles, live streaming.
I'm sorry, Nelson, my man. I love From. I am fully caught up. From is awesome. That's from the people who made Lost. One of the guys who's in it, they have as the main character for this. Dude, that show is fucked up. The first, literally, you'll know within the first 10 minutes, oh, that's what they're talking about. Very good show. Great call, Nelson. Sorry.
I'll add that to my list. Maybe start it this weekend. But that's it. I got nothing else to say. Taylor, you have anything else to say? You ready to rock? Let's do it.
I'm good.
Hands up. Let's go. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We'll see you next week back with more Patriots Daily. Like, subscribe, rate, review the show, do all that stuff.
Subscribe.
Do it all. Bye.